Good evening, everybody. Right, welcome. This is going to be a very bizarre one tonight. Um, I thought tonight I would do something totally out of character, which would give me all sorts. Right. Um, I'm like, I think they call us the Generation X. We were born in the 60s, 70s and 80s. That's when we grew up. So we're sort of like born up to slightly different to what things are today. And I'd like to just go over something just to make sure that for younger people they can actually understand what us old farts are like. And one of the biggest things I've found is, obviously, when I was younger, we didn't have mobile phones, but we do now. And you have TikTok and all these different things, Instagram and all these different high-tech things. And I think that people are losing the ability to actually talk and feel. And one thing that this week that I've noticed an awful lot, and it sort of like played on my mind to say this, is about feelings and men. Because a lot of these are now coming on TikToks about, even women are doing it, they're saying about men losing their feelings and changing. And I've come on to sort of like agree with it. And to be quite honest, only from my point of view, as I've always said on everything, if you take in consideration like me, when anyone knows I was ill, yes, I was ill, I had a big heart attack. I didn't phone anybody or tell anybody. All I told was two of my friends, basically to fetch some clothes to the hospital, and I needed picking up. And that was it. My family, I'm estranged anyway by nature, but my family didn't really know until a couple of days after it all happened. Anyway, I think the first one was about three, maybe even 4 days afterwards, when I was coming out of hospital from it. I actually let them know that I wasn't very well. How does it come to this that men don't speak? And I think that the thing I've got to say to people is that it's how we're made to feel nowadays. That men are made to feel. When your fathers, our fathers and our grandfathers were the shoulders of the family. Anything went wrong, men didn't cry. We didn't cry. It was our job not to cry. Even when my father passed away, my job was to be strong for my sisters and the rest of the family. It wasn't for me to cry, and only at one occasion did we actually, on the day of the funeral, did all the underlying feelings that I had came to rise for I don't know how many seconds, where I just couldn't control them, and then eventually I had to gather myself again to show control, and then only did I grieve when I was on my own. And this is the thing, that men, we don't speak about our feelings. We actually bottle it up, and we go off. And I think this is why a lot of men can't deal with it, and obviously it goes very badly. I know it's a very glum subject, but I think it's only fair that men speak for themselves. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Now, anybody knows me that I'm a fun sort of person. I'm always laughing, joking, and everything like that. I've accepted my lot in life, if you want to call it like that. And I'm on a lot of medication. People who know me very well know that I have quite a lot of tablets. Keep me ticking over. I'm like a smarty box rattling. However, some days I do go to bed and I feel a bit poorly, and it does cross you. You get very fatalistic. For those who don't know, I've got a birthday coming this week, so I'm. I was going to say 32 then. I wish. I'm going to double that, so I'm 58, I think. My sisters will tell me better than that. They'll remind me. But I actually think, well, some days I will go to bed and I think, I've had one close escape. If I pass away in my sleep, will anyone find me? It does actually go into your thought, but you don't think that and you don't inquire it. And this is the problem that's happening with men now, is that we actually don't have anyone to speak to. So if you're married or living with a man, right, because this is what it's centred on, I'm going to ask you, ladies, or even gentlemen, if because there's gay couples as well, I'm going to ask you, sit down with your man and say, are you all right? Would you like to speak? Because first thing he's going to say is no. He doesn't want to speak, and he will say, yes, I'm fine. He isn't fine. He has, like everybody else, the uncertainties. Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? Do you still love me? Am I in a loving relationship? Am I doing well? Have I upset somebody? Have I not upset somebody? Every man has got those questions. We're just taught not to ask them and not to actually talk to people about them. It doesn't make us a worse man or anything like that to answer these questions. If anything, it's probably going to make you a better man. And for those with partners, it's going to make things a lot easier as well, because there might be something worrying him, but he doesn't want to worry you with those. And sometimes I think it's best to actually be truthful and speak to them before the problems start. I can tell you from my examples, we'll call it, my family split up, and I've had some pretty cousins and everything. Not even my cousins know all the full stories or anything like that. I went off, and nor would I bother with them, to be quite honest. I've learned to live with different things. But has it affected me? Yes, it has, yeah. Yeah, it has. Because I didn't speak my mind, and I didn't say things I should have said. I kept them to myself. So what I'm saying to you is, ladies, sit your man down. Make him a drink. You actually know if that's a good man or a bad man. You actually do know that. And a lot of you are letting all the good men drift off. And then they end up like me, where I don't date anymore because I think, can I deal with it anymore? So am I just going to send myself down a rabbit hole again and be upset and not have a miserable life again? Not miserable, but not find the right one. So this is what I'm saying. I keep repeating it, but I'm saying to you, ladies, sit down with your fellas and actually put your arms around them and give them a hug. Think about it. When was the last time you gave them a hug, not them give you a hug? And don't take them for granted. Don't take any man for granted. They're there and they will put up with everything you can throw at them. But sometimes they are like you and they need somebody to say, sit down, put your feet up, relax. Let's have a chat. It's all for the best in the long run. Yeah. So that's what I'd like to say. That's what I've come on for. I've come on to say to you, ladies, men, we don't talk to people, nor do we have people to talk to when we get frustrated or down or anything like that. And it's not good. It's because it ends up in absolute catastrophes. So take it on board. Yeah, what I've said. I'm just being honest. Give them a hug, sit down, have a chat with them. That's all I'm going to say tonight. It's just a very simple one. I just thought, I've seen it on loads and loads of programmes, even the ladies defending it, saying that when certain men get to like 50 years old, we can't be, whatever you want to call it, swaddled. We won't put up with it, we'll just walk off. And that's actually true. Yeah, we've had the t-shirts, we've had the shirts and everything to match that. No, we don't bother anymore, so we don't date anymore. And then that's when women are now complaining that men aren't being met. They are men. Those men are still exactly out there, and they are what you're looking for, but they won't show interest because they've basically had a bad run. So, but the good ones are still there. Treat them right. It used to be treat the women right, but the women have got to the point where they're sometimes not treating the fellas right, and they can't see what's in front of them. So what I'm going to say is treat them right. Be nice for both of you, because if you're both happy in a relationship, it'll last forever. So love is eternal. So all right, I hope you have a lovely night. I hope I haven't bored you too much. This has been a one-off thing. If you do like it, just push subscribe. For us, it's probably saying, "Oh, Mick's been silly bugger again." But yeah, take it easy. Have a lovely night. Night. God bless.